What's going on, people? Internet friends. Well, let's see here. 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. And I felt guilty about it. I was out here till almost 9 o'clock last night getting this floor done. I know, it looks like a tornado went off around here. That happens on a weekly basis here. Now, I've come up into a little problem. You can't see it here, but the whole floor is like that. It's down here. See, if you have a plan, stick with your plan. I changed the plan in midstream, and I should not have done that. Let me show you. This is the center of the floor. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with that. A couple spots like that. What I did is I went from southeast side to northwest. Okay, and I got to the center and I stopped and I started at the other end and worked towards the center. Never paint yourself in a corner. And I did it, and the reason why, as you can see on my previous video, I was going to stand up to a 6x6 post and put them up. Let me show you. All right, man, I don't have a 6x6, but figure this was a 6x6 post. I was going to stand one there. I was going to come down 8 feet, put another one all the way down the center. 6 times 8 is 40. Run them down the center and have those posts sit right in the center, which would carry the weight of the roof down the center. It would look nice, be pretty, really strong. But, you know, you work so much, you get home and you're working 7 days a week. You know, I get 2 days of work in my house, and I've done this whole thing, this floor, the wood part anyways, in about 3 days. My son and I, in between the storms and the tornadoes and stuff. And so I actually got out and I was going to start framing my walls, putting the boards down, finding out where the studs are going to go, where the windows are going to go, where the king stud's going to go, where the jack stud's going to go. A lot of good videos on there. I got a playlist in there. I think I have it private, but this guy's pretty good. I used to frame houses a long time ago. Well, you're talking 30 years ago. Back then I was smoking marijuana, so not a lot. Different world. And so I don't remember a lot of it. I had to take some refresher things on it, but I know pretty much what I'm doing here. As you can tell, I obviously know something what I'm doing with the pillars and how to set it up and the flooring and stuff. I'm not dumb. I need to put a level on this thing. We get a lot of rain. Now this thing was perfectly level, but if you look over in that corner and you look down in that corner, that looks lower. But you know it's not. It's just that pillar and that tree is there, and the ground is higher than it is over here in the back, so it looks like it's leaning, but it doesn't. This thing was perfectly square. 40 feet by 24 feet is diagonal. Can't remember what it was now. 60 something feet, 7 inches. I can't remember. And it was perfectly square. I think it might have been off a quarter, if that. I mean, it was really close. Very true, very level. And I didn't have a transit, people. I had none of that. I had a stringer and a bob level. bubble level on the string level. Did that, and well, anyways, I don't know I was gonna get it. But yeah, this is all done by 1-bys. Seems pretty solid to me, doesn't it? Yeah, it's got a little wobble to it, but not much. Most of it's here right in the center. You know, I should have done, I should have used my wood, true 2x6s off of the floor. Actually, originally, what I wanted to do is run a set of pillars down the center here, come 8 feet. Run another set down here, and it would have taken that wobble completely out of here. Completely. But anyways, that one's creaking. I put a lot of torque screws in here too, because some of this wood, I need to pull this off, get in here and figure out what I'm going to do with that. But mind you, there's going to be plywood on top of this. That's going to be all good. It's going to be buttoned up. There's going to be no draft or anything like that. It's going to be real good. I saw a thing on YouTube where they actually did the plywood and they finished it, lightly sanded it, and sealed it. It was really nice looking, but I don't know if I want that or not. It's kind of weird looking. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Main thing is getting this roof, those walls and the roof up. Yeah, figure out how many 2x boards I need for the rafters and all of that. It won't be too hard to build. I think I could build them probably right here. Problem is lifting the rafters up there. I guess you don't have, I guess I could build them up there. It wouldn't be that hard. It used to be, I don't know. Anyways, you guys, you guys take care and read your book. Don't get caught up in all the junk out there. I've literally unplugged from everything and listening to anybody, and boy, look how solid this is. Shakes right there a little bit. Well, not too bad. All in all, it's pretty darn good, by God. Should probably pull this tarp off and let everything dry out from all the rain. It was coming down. Yeah, it rained all night last night. Let me show you. Let me show you a problem coming in. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I'm gonna have to cut these 2 boards out. And you get it. See, I can put a small board in there, and I can do that. But I'll have to pre-drill it. Because if you try drilling that or nailing it, it'll split on you. She'll split. It's too narrow. Too narrow, people. But this is pretty much the only spot that's got it, right in my bedroom. Here's another spot right there. Little one. I don't know. See, let me see where it butted up to. I just got down to the bottom of the boards and trying to, because you got 1x4s and 1x8s and 1x10s and 1x6s, and as you're going down, you're trying to calculate and rip boards down to try to get caught up for the ones that are big, the 10-inch ones, and you're coming down to a 5-inch one. Well, then you got a 3-inch lip on there, and you got to figure out, try to piece it together and get it in there. And my kid and I played hell trying to get it in there. And but it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm just going to frame the walls and stand her up. I'm going to have to run that beam. I still got a beam that's got to come up. It's 9 feet is the height of the walls, minus the beam that comes down to support the roof. So if it's 12 inches, you come down 12 inches. And that's what this wall will be here. It'll be 8 foot, whatever it is, and then it'll carry the beam. Now it'll stop. These are the 2 bedrooms, so it'll stop about right here. And this will be the entryway right here. And then when you come into the house, this will be all empty, and over there will be the kitchen. The kitchen, you have dining room area. You put the water heater, everything down there, closer to the septic. And down here, you can have a little, you can make this area into a bedroom too. It really doesn't matter. A little guest bedroom where you could have a little kitchen nook to sit in or something like that. Oh, it's coming together. It's taking a while to remember all the little tricks that I used to know building homes. And but no, we're about there. Yeah, like I said, I start pulling out the wood. I've got all that's 2x4s. Look at those. Look at the size of those 2x4s. There's 2x6s down there. Look at all those 2x10s, 2x8s, 6x6s. Down in this pile, a lot of 2x4s. I think I got 150 2x4s, true 2x4s, mind you. It's been sitting here, so I'm going to have to get Clorox. I'm going to plane them off a little bit with my Porter cable planer after they dry out again. Spray them with Clorox, get them up here, find the straighter ones I can find, and I'll start framing this. Now coming down here, I don't know if I'm going to put a double door here or not. But mind you, all this, when this is all cleared out, there's going to be a deck out here. It's coming out all the way out here. There's going to be a deck. And should be a window right here. One right there, I haven't decided. One window, I got the windows already bought. I'm gonna put a window probably here. Look out in the forest. I don't care anything about here. I don't want to watch anything or anything down here. I'm paying no mind about it. A lot of this wood is just wasn't able to land right on the center. I mean, that's rough wood. I mean, it's just rough, sound wood. And you got to perfect it as you go and make it work. But I'm going to tell you right now, with all this wood sitting here, I probably got $20,000 worth of wood sitting right there. I got a lot of wood. Do all kinds of stuff. You go to Home Depot and you go to a store, you know what it is. Buying their junk, their toothpick wood. That's why this floor bounces. I'll tell you that right now. Because that thin wood. Call it a 2x4. It's not even a 2x4. It's not even 2 inches. It's not even 4 inches. It's junk. Ugh. Let me get down off this thing. But no, everything's been pretty good. I could clean this mess up again. I cleaned everything the other day, but like in either construction site, you're out here smoking and drinking water and farting, cussing. Hell, you got it all good. Let's go look underneath this mess. I gotta blow all this out. For the most part, she's a lot more drier than she used to be, boy. Look at that. You see all those little cuts in there and the wood sticking up. You know what that is? I use that so you can get the pry bar in there. They call it a wrecking bar out here. And you put in the wood, you crank on, get that wood sucked up in there, get it as tight as you can get it. And this is all from ripping the logs to get it to fit right. Yeah, get that out of there. There's larvae in that thing. There's bugs all over out here. And some more tar paper. This is a little roll, man. I don't know what the deal is. You go to Home Depot, you get a huge roll. Don't get it here. what was that? Yeah, I forget the name of that company down there, but it's the only place I go. The only place they do have is they've got those torque screws down there. And those torque screws for 25 pounds, 4-inch, is $170. Well, I used a lot of torque screws. Here, I'll show you what they look like. Let's see if I can get some light in here. Okay. Here are torque screws. They got like the star on it. They're 4 inches, and they're self-tapping. They're funny to watch. There was 20 or 15 of them here the other day. They're just flying around right here in the dirt. And it's because they were like diving the sand like this and blowing the sand back and forth. They're really smart. They're smart. Like B-1 bombers. And anyways, I got sidetracked. Went and got a table saw. I got a Ryobi 10-inch. But you know, I went back to Makita. I've got a Makita drill, a little 18-volt one. And I was watching a thing on YouTube of the Impact driver. Just like a drill. But it's a torque. So when it starts going in, it kind of hammers out. Excuse me. And man, that is the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. Because it would countersink into the wood. You don't even have to drill it to countersink the screws. I put a box of it out there on some of those. Because some of that wood, and like I said, it's rough sawn. It's not, they're not exactly 1 inch. Some could be 1 1/8 inches or 1 1/4 inches. So there's some spots that they're higher than the other. But the way you get around that when you lay down your wood is you can put underlayment in there, and it's just like shimming. You just put it down there and shim it and make up for that spot. Glue it or whatever you need to do on it. That'll come later. But what I got to do is frame these walls, and I got to do rafters. I'll make that playlist. It's under framing, I believe, or it's under rafters. But I'll make it available when anybody want to learn how to frame. This guy, he doesn't go real fast. He takes his time, and I mean, he explains it. What your king plate is, and what your jacks. It's pretty easy stuff. Pitch of the roof. Tells you exactly how to do the pitch of a roof, whatever you want it, 5 and 12 or whatever it is. And the formula, you don't even really need the formula. It's pretty easy though. It'll give you the length of the rafters. Pretty cool. Well, anyways, you guys, let's go. Been on here long enough, and gotta go to work tomorrow. Next week, another storm coming next Tuesday. This gives me 1 day to get out here and start framing.